Today, it's a positive day, so we're here at Amy Realty to get our keys and to sign our lease, which we managed to do electronically. You have to request an electronic lease agreement, otherwise normally you do it in wet ink. So we made the trip from home down to here, assumed that we could pay online stupidly, which you can. However, there's a 3% charge, so it would have worked out to, what would have been like $400
Yeah,
charge to use your card.
Yeah.
So now we have to drive to the bank, give them a piece of paper, they'll print that onto another piece of paper.
So that we can then give it to them.
Charge us $15. We then have to get back in our car, drive back here, and hand over that piece of paper to somebody, wasting fuel, time, paper, pen, for no reason whatsoever.
But going forward, what she's explained, and she was good in that you can set up in the portal your bank details, much like we would do in the UK with standing orders or direct debit. So going forwards, we shouldn't have that charge. We'll just link it to the bank account, and then we'll make our recurring payment as we're used to in the UK.
And another thing that was good this morning is Selena managed to get back our $150 application fee that we got scammed out of by Signature Realty. Absolute scam artists. We'll explain a bit later on how we got it back. The manager or whoever it was, the senior person that made the call back to us, dealt with it in a really good way, but it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I was very frustrated because I care a lot about how you serve customers, customer experience, and our experience with them was not good considering we went there, we spoke to them, and then they tried to ask for 10% extra rent. So I gave it a few days. I thought if I write an email now or a review now, it's just going to be far too abrupt and emotional and probably not succinct either. So I gave it about 4 days. Last night I went onto Google, found the exact location and listed out in great detail, called out the person that we met, why what they did was extremely wrong. But the good thing was that this morning, whoever's their lead in that group called me, and he was actually very, very nice. I have to say, his manner, he didn't even try to excuse what they did, which was great. And with that, they're going to refund the $150.
Guess how? By check. You can't get it electronically. Why would you do that? So
we're going to have to get used to checks.
Oh yeah, we're having to get used to it. Over the past few days, I've been spending 2 to 4 hours every morning dealing with utility companies. So unlike the UK, you don't just go online and sign up to the utilities and it just transfers into the new name. Somebody physically goes out to turn them back on. But on top of that, you literally have to give them every piece of documentation. So that's your social security, your immigration forms, your visa, your passport, your driving license, just to turn on gas and electricity. And you can end up in these quite lengthy discussions over what documents are things that they will accept and what are not. So some don't mind if you just give a social security and a passport, some want a lot more than that.
It seems like the additional issue, even though we have a social security number, we're not really on the system yet. So I think it takes a good couple of months, even with the social security number, for you to actually be recognised.
But I know why that is, because they create the social security number at the office, and then someone has to walk with the piece of paper to the central office and give it to them so somebody can key it in there, because why do it electronically? Why have a central system? We're finding out nothing's centralised here, and it's frustrating now, but we'll get over it.
Yeah.
We're happy because we're getting the keys to the house.
It's a good day, and off we go to the bank now, again. We made it!
Yeah.
We got it! We got our house eventually, after much, much pain.
So it was a lot more pain than we expected, and I can't remember whether we said this in the other scene.
Well, so 18 houses we viewed in total. Only 2 of them we liked enough to apply for. Had a bad feeling about that first one, which was right because they tried to scam us.
The one that we explained we've now got our money back.
But we'll do a separate thing on that one, and then apply the second home that we applied for. Is this home that is behind us?
But the issue that we had was we showed up and attempted to pay using a card, but in actual fact we had to get a cashier's check, which took in total Bearing in mind this place is 15 minutes from where we live, I think the total time spent just getting it paid for was nearly 2 hours.
Oh yeah, we had high hopes clearly of going to the office, paying, and then
Coming
going
away,
for
getting lunch.
leisurely lunch, come here, do the walkthrough. No, that did not
Literally,
go to plan.
what took 2 hours was paying somebody, because you have to go to the bank to pay someone.
Don't make our mistake.
The last rental that we did to our tenant, everything was done online. The lease was done online, the payments were done online, they were instant. Any changes that we needed, she reached out, we made the changes electronically, we sent it back, it got signed off. Perfect.
No, not here.
No, just to pay them 2 hours. But anyway, we're here
We
now.
made it. So we got our cashier's check, we paid our monies, we got the keys, the access code, and we're finally here. So we're not moving in today. We are here doing what they call a walkthrough. So we came here with our agent, and we essentially just go through the whole property and assess for anything that's damaged. I wouldn't say it's a proper walkthrough, because she kept saying you need to actually live here for a little bit.
We probably spent an hour or a little bit more, plus chatting time, because I talk a lot.
Almost 2 hours.
But probably an hour actually doing the walkthrough, and
Yeah,
an hour me and
gossiping
the lady
about
gossiping.
life. Yeah.
So what do we like about this one?
Well, one of the things I really liked personally straight away about this house was that it was in a close. We say close in the UK. I'm not sure what they call it in the
It's called
US.
court here, but it's
Yeah.
the same thing.
But one of the things is that it's at the very end of the close, that I would call it, and it's on its own. So rather than a house that is in between other houses, this is on its own with only one house to the side. So that was a feature of this house, or at least its placement, that I liked.
Yeah, and I actually really like. It's simple, but the landscaping as you walk up, a lot of them don't really have much property or land towards the front and the rear, but this one has quite a nice bit, which we'll show you on camera, or we'll insert it.
And we are conveniently close to the mailbox. So here,
Oh, in the
something
US.
to tell you about the US. In the UK, we are used to having our letterbox in our house door. You know, the front of our house door, you can get your letters. Not here.
Yeah.
Here, they have another section where you have to go to get your letters, not to your front door. It's a very bizarre thing. When we came here the other day, it was really interesting because we could see people driving their cars to come here to collect their post, which is, I don't understand
bizarre.
it. It's very strange.
There's no reason. I suppose it makes it a lot easier for the post people. They come to one location, they drop off all of the mail.
Oh, much easier.
And there can be this urban sprawl, it would be quite difficult to get round.
But I'm assuming deliveries still come, as in Amazon deliveries still come straight to your door,
Yeah,
presumably.
they do.
It's just the postal, like letters. Apparently this isn't everywhere in the US. We have been told other places in the US
They deliver to your door.
You are now inside our new home. I'm still getting used to it, and the biggest thing for me is the expanse of the room when you come in. So this is literally what you walk into. You see we have our kitchen area here, and those of you that have watched our apartment tour will know how much we love islands, and we loved it in our apartment, and we have another island here, which is great. I do not find the look of this offensive in any way, but it's not hugely modern or anything, and we have seen this exact same house completely renovated and modern, and it looks amazing. But I'm more than happy with the style of this home. So this is the kitchen. We've got our sink here. It's got, oh no, maybe we didn't mention this in the other video. One of the great things in American homes is that they have a waste disposal in their sink. So rather than having to throw all your food waste in the bin, you have something here. And I heard it's not, which one is it? I've forgotten which. I've not used it yet. Oh no, it's underneath. There you go. Yeah, that doesn't even, that doesn't sound right to me. But yeah, one of the cool features in US homes is the waste disposal, but we've been warned that possibly not working properly at the moment, so we're going to get that checked out. Normal kitchen area here, some issues with our cooker at the moment, not in the best condition. And then through here, take you through, is, I guess we would call this a utility room. So this has got the washer dryer in there that's come with the house. And then through here If I can open it, there you go, so stiff. There you go, we have the garage. And let's see. Ta-da! I personally quite like that feature of the automated garage door. We've got a fob as well that we could use, so when we're driving up with our car, we can use the fob. Really depends on how we end up using the space. I guess if you park your car in your garage, you're going to want the fob to open the gate for you. But otherwise, I don't know. I think Ant's thinking that we're going to park outside and we'll probably use this space either to work on bikes, cars. What are you thinking? Yeah. Really cool features in here as well. Oh, slightly different to the UK actually. So I'm learning here. It's water softener. Water here is really hard. I mean, we've got a huge problem. In a lot of the places we have lived in Kent, we've always had a problem with the hardness of the water. So they have a water softener, but I would call it an XXL water softener. So if any of you have them in your home, typically you're looking at something this size, but you put in these like blocks this size. Let me show you here. There we go. That is the, bin, I would say, bin-sized compartment for your salt that you use, and it's a huge contraption, I would say, for the property. Another thing that's very, very different in US homes, which I thought was interesting, is this is the water boiler tank. We're really used to having things in the indoors, and actually there's quite a few things that are outside the house here, and we'll talk you through that, like the pool, the circuit board, but yeah, water boiler tank here, and you can set your temperature there. Again, I think it's mighty. This is a really cool feature. I think Ant will really like this. I'm sure he will attest to this, but they've created these cupboard spaces here, so I'll just open that for you there all along. So I'm no doubt, so I keep saying to Anne, I'm just wondering how much stuff is coming from the sea shipment, because we've been living in our flat, was it 9 months, 6 months in the end? I can't remember. Without all of that stuff, and we had quite a bit of stuff in our garage from our house, so I'm really curious to know how much is coming. But great to know that we've got all this storage here, because Ant had a lot of stuff for his car. And the owners have kindly left us this stuff, and in a time when we're concerned.
So, our house before the apartments, I don't think we ever did a house tour. We sort of did a walkthrough when we packed up.
I think if you've watched the video of us leaving, you'll see bits of the house, but yeah. I don't think we've ever shared that house fully.
So I had, or up until a point, I've had a track car, so a car that I take to the track, because some people don't necessarily know what that means. And with that comes a lot of stuff like tyres, tools, jacks, jack stands. So our garage was full of stuff to repair, fix and upgrade cars, on top of a ton of bike stuff. So I got into mountain biking really recently, or probably 2 years now.
Yeah, I would say about that.
So I've got everything that you would need to upgrade and fix a mountain bike. So this stuff, which Sel has just shown you, is really good, because normally in UK garages it's just a space.
Yeah,
and
goes all
and you put the stuff in the space and it takes up a lot of the floor space, but at least here we've got storage to put all of the tools and ancillary stuff. And then I don't think we'll kit out the whole place as a gym, because it's not ours, it's rented, and the amount of gym equipment that we would need is probably in the tens of thousands, and then we have to pay somebody to pack it up and ship it to wherever we're going. But I definitely think I'd get a squat rack, a bench, dumbbells, plates, barbell. And
could make a little square.
Yeah, and maybe a water rower or something.
Bar.
Yeah.
One day I'll get my pull-ups.
All the basics. And it's really nice that it's super quiet, and you can just put up your garage door, do a workout, not get hassled. On the weekend that we come over, the kids are out playing they set up a little ramp in the street, so you know it's quiet, safe.
So that's the other thing we noticed here, and Ant noticed straight away, are bikes. So kids will leave their bikes in the middle of the road or on the corner.
Road.
Yeah.
Like directly in the middle of the road, and it's just expected. And that isn't this area. We notice it everywhere we went, but you just drive at 5 miles an hour and you go around them. You're not driving like a lot of people do in the UK at 30, 40 within your estate.
That's the garage. That's pretty much our kitchen here. One thing I did want to point out is we've got our fridge here. I'm a huge fan of this style of fridge. I think Ant's mum got one recently in the UK and I absolutely loved it. And I thought it was called an American style fridge. They're actually called French style, I believe. And that is because they open like this. So that's really nice, and it's at your height. So typically in the UK it would be not necessarily at your height when you're going into the fridge.
American style fridge freezers.
Yeah.
Yeah, are
long, all the way down. But I much prefer it like this, and lots of compartments, but also the freezer, it's a drawer, and I much prefer dealing with that. The one thing I used to hate about the freezer that we had in our house and even the flat is that you end up with these really tight drawers that you're always fighting with to open. Much prefer that. So this is the main living area. I think when I've seen pictures, most people have put a huge sofa, and I thought our sofa is big in the UK. I'm not sure it is big enough to suit this size. I think we would have gone bigger for this.
Yeah. To try and give you, because I don't know how well it comes across on camera, to give you an idea of the space, I would say this living area is probably about 500 square foot, maybe more.
Yeah, I think even more.
Yeah, it's huge, and a normal living area, and even in our house, was maybe a couple of 100 square foot, so it's double and then some. So it's going to make our sofa look small. So what we're going to try and do, and we'll show you in a moment because there's some nice features upstairs, we're probably going to end up buying new stuff. Our shipment isn't due to arrive until June. It's currently towards the beginning, it's the 9th of April. So we can buy new stuff if we want, have this in here, and then take it to our next place. And when our stuff does arrive, there's still plenty of room for it. So no matter how much of that 4-bedroom stuff that we've forgotten, I think it will fit in here, no problem.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt. I almost feel you'd need 2 houses worth of stuff.
It is effectively 2 houses.
Yeah, because they have 2 living rooms.
2,600 square foot of living space, not including the garage, and our home was 1,400, so it's
tiny compared to this. Right, so this is something unusual. Despite the fact that it's a 2-story home, the master bedroom is actually downstairs, and this is not uncommon in US homes. I think both of us would have preferred our masters upstairs, and I think that's just because of what we're used to in the UK. But I don't mind it, it's perfectly fine. It's a huge space. I think for us, this will definitely be the biggest bedroom we've ever had. I don't think we've ever had a bedroom this side.
This is... this is probably double the size of our master at our house.
Yeah.
I say our house, it's not our house anymore.
No,
it belongs to a tenant.
It has this ensuite, so I will put the light on. I really like this. It has his and hers sinks.
Separate his and her sinks.
Separate, and then our agent did say this.
Oh, I didn't hear her say that.
She was saying, oh, you can say you have your side, my side, you don't come on my side. And actually we should point out, we walked through a door that you can close, and in US homes, when they have an ensuite bathroom to the master, they often don't have doors on it, which I personally find very, very strange. I think you should have a door. Nice tub in the middle, so separating my sink from Anton's sink. I've already made the decision as to which one's mine. But nice bathtub there, and a dedicated vanity, which I like. It's making me wonder what I do with my vanity that's in storage now, or on its way. These were broken. There's no lights that are working currently. We can't figure out. So one of the things about this home is there's some lights that we haven't figured out how you turn on. And it's either because there is no light in that room, we'll come back to that one shortly, or there are lights, but you can't turn them on. And then the walk-in, really common feature in most of these US homes, which I really like. No doubt we all share this, or maybe this will be mine, this will be Anton's part. We'll share. I should put it alone.
Yeah, so it's, again, probably not coming across on the camera, but the master suite plus the bathroom plus the walk-in runs the entire length of the house.
That's huge.
This is bigger than our kitchen dining utility in our house by quite a lot. It's huge. I don't know how we're going to use up all the space.
And I keep saying to everyone, we don't need a house this size.
No.
It was almost impossible not to get a house this size. We
Yeah.
would have been happy with something much, much smaller.
So you can find the small ones. The reason why we've ended up with quite a large house is because we want the land that it comes on. So for us, being able to
Outdoor
work out
space,
in the
yeah.
sun, being able to get into the pool, being able to fix the bikes, the cars, and just be in your own space means you have to have a really large home here.
Yeah, and also the dedicated office space, rooms, room for people to come and stay, that automatically, once you get a 3-bedroom home,
Yeah,
it's really hard to go small. Now, before we put an offer on this house, I said I had a bad feeling about the other, but we kept our options open, and because we weren't necessarily finding the type of home we wanted in our budget, we did say to the agent that we were willing to pay up to $4,000 per month. And this was really because Anton, and I will say it was Anton, really had a desire for a pool. I can't say that I don't want one either.
Let's think about this. We left the UK where it's cold, wet, horrible. That's one of the primary reasons. Why would you then, given a choice, come to somewhere where, like our apartment, it's actually really quite dark. You're not really going to spend much time outside. You want the whole experience. We've spent enough time not having the US experience, so have the pool. It did end up costing us quite a bit more because an equivalent size house would have been about $550 less per month without the pool.
Yeah, it's just not having the pool, the same house without the pool.
But to me, it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. Even, we'll show you in a second, I'm sure you can see in the background. I've put my hand in, I've gone, yep, this is worth $550.
He has no intention on actually swimming. He made that clear. He just wants to dip his feet in. Just know that the pool is there. Now, between this and the other home, the one thing I would say is that we did actually prefer how the other home was inside. It was a lot more homely. It felt smaller. It wasn't such an expanse when you walked in. So internally, I preferred the other home, and it was also cheaper. Although not cheaper after they tried to expect 10% more from us. But this was really a huge selling point for me. And Ant kept saying this about, even though you pay more for something, the value that you get out, is it worth paying more? This particular home is $3,400 per month. And for me, to have that experience, you feel like you're on holiday, but a holiday every single day. And I sat out here when we came to view the house, and I could honestly see myself having my breakfast, enjoying my gin and tonic when I get my gins back, or when I buy them, just sitting by the pool. And I really like this idea of having friends around, family, and entertaining here as well. So is it worth the extra money? Yes, I do think so. We've decided to. Almost had no choice because the other house wanted extortionate amount of money for that in the end. But no, very happy because of this.
One of the other features, which isn't really a feature because it's just open space, is there's a huge area in which you can actually do some good workouts. You can get a bike. A lot of the properties really don't have that. They sort of have this, I don't know, it's boxed in by a wall immediately off the back of the home.
Which was a huge downside of the other house. The other home was a fraction of this size out the back. It wasn't that big, and we were discussing whether you could get a workout in that space. It wasn't great.
And if you could, it wouldn't have felt comfy. It would have been nice. This is, you look outside and it's inviting you outside. It's saying come outside. And the other part, which hopefully you can see here, is it's got, not really sure what it's called, a covered patio area that's
Oh yeah, that's
fenced
what I really
off.
like.
It's nice and shaded, so it's about 29 degrees, 28 or 29 degrees, but in the shade, because it's all sun, it's nice and cool in there, so you really do want to sit outside. So I think it's worth it. It's expensive, but it's worth it, for me at least.
I mentioned when we were in the garage how some things are outside, and one of the things that is outside is the equipment for the pool pump. I guess it's swimming pool stuff. I'm not entirely sure, but it's all the stuff.
Panel.
Yeah, out there. And also you can see down the bottom are our trash cans. I almost insulted them today by saying, oh, I don't know if you have the concept of recycling. And she's like, actually, we've got 2 bins. I don't know, because they do such funny things here. With the trash, because we're in an area which has this thing called an HOA, I'll let Anne explain that, but what that means is there's certain rules and regulations that you have to abide by when you're living in that area. And one of those, it means that you cannot leave your trash can longer than, did you say 12 hours or 24 hours? 24. And if you do, you get fined for the violation. This is our covered area. It's the covered patio that they have here. The owners have kindly left us garden furniture, so we have garden furniture to start off with, which is really nice. This is this exact spot that I came to when I first came here. And actually, it reminds me of our apartment in the UK. As soon as I came into that apartment, I went straight out onto the terrace. And this is the same with this property. You just want to come out here straight away. What's nice here, they've got fan up there. I'm not sure if you're going to see it. Anton will show you. And also we have a fire pit. I'm not entirely sure how it works yet, but whilst it gets super, super hot here during the summer months, it does get very cool in the winter time. So I'm no doubt the fire pit will come in handy then. And also, apparently, we were told in the edges, they've got these misters as well. So I'm not entirely sure how we hook that up. Yeah, I think we would have to do that. But you can have a mist as well. Wow, sweet. What's interesting, every time I come in, I realise I do it every time. I forget that there's another room down here. So really, when I came in, I should have shown you that first. But it's because when you come in here, my attention always goes to the kitchen and living room. So I will share with you some other bits that I've missed. There is a storage cupboard. Most of the homes we visited, despite the size and disrepair or whatever, it's really common for storage in US homes. They're very savvy about how they build their homes and making sure you have enough storage. So this is the area I forgot. So more space down here. We have another bedroom. It's green. Very interesting colour choice down here. It almost reminds me of ice cream shop or a sweet shop colour. Very interesting choice for a room.
It reminds me of Florida. They used to paint that tropical feel. So they paint their rooms in those bright yellows and turquoise greens.
Ant was asking me whether I would choose to have so we have 3 other rooms upstairs that we could use.
No, only 2. It feels like there should be 3. There's 2 done.
Okay. So which room I would choose to have my office in, whether I would have it downstairs or upstairs. At the moment, I'm thinking I'm going to choose upstairs. The way they design their homes, as I mentioned, we've got the master bedroom downstairs. They often create another bedroom with a bathroom downstairs, which is great if you've got family staying around as well, so they can have their dedicated bedroom and bathroom. So we've got this downstairs bathroom as well, which is quite convenient. Right, now I can take you upstairs. I'm personally really glad that they have put carpet down on the stairs and upstairs. In the US, carpet in homes, or at least in Vegas, I would say, because I can't say I've been to loads of homes in the US to know, carpet is not really common. And in fact, when we was looking at rental properties, they would advertise the fact, no carpet in this home, in capital letters. it seems that people don't really like carpet here. We have our theories. We think it might have to do with the heat. I'm not entirely sure, but I much prefer carpet. It makes the place really cozy and comfy for me.
So although I just said there's 2 rooms upstairs, there's only 2 bedrooms. However, there is...
They call it a den.
Yeah, it's a den, I think, because it doesn't have the door on it. But often dens are downstairs. This den is upstairs. Now, our shipment, as we've explained, is delayed till June, so a couple of months from now. Luckily, somebody's left a really nice desk set, office, desk, cupboards, everything. So I can now, because we got
all your PC equipment
and 3 monitors air-shipped, which is great because it's sitting in boxes in our apartment. I can now come here and set everything up because it's been really uncomfortable trying to work and put together videos on a laptop on my lap. So that's going to be nice.
And I would say, this is, if Anton's going to take this office den space, he has got the best view. And this is one part of the house I really like. I'm not entirely sure why, but there's just something I like about standing up here and then looking over the house. And in particular, this section here. So often, I say it often, I haven't been here that often. I just sit here and it's quite nice and relaxing. And up the top of this house, there are these windows that span all across the top. And they've got blinds in some of them so you can't see out, but the ones right opposite here, I can look out and see the views of the mountains and the trees, which I really like. We're thinking of getting something padded here so you can just sit up here, which will be a really nice thing. Logistically though, the owners of this house have put blinds up. Really interesting choice because they're not blinds that you can open and close to have the light come in or not when you don't want to. So currently we're stuck with them being permanently shut, and to get them open you have to either get a super large tall ladder or pay for a handyman to come in to open your blinds, which seems absolutely crazy to me.
The ceilings, I think, are about 10 metres, so it's quite far. If you fell off the ladder, you're going to have a bad time because it's tiled on the floor as well.
Ant's saying that I can catch him. That's just not going to happen. I can put a bed mattress down though. This is another really common feature in American homes. It's one of the features that Ant really liked when we went to visit the new model homes. I think Tri-Point had them. Is this space, and they call it a loft. It's another area which we would call a living room in the UK, where you can set up your sofa and TV, and we definitely think that we will set up our sofa and TV up here. It seems a lot more cozy, a lot more like how we would have it at home. So yeah, and I really like this space personally. I'm not sure if I find this weird or not, but they've got another bathroom, which you would expect. So I definitely would expect an upstairs toilet, but they've got another bathroom. I guess it does make sense because they do have other bedrooms. However, only one really qualifies as a bedroom, in my opinion. And I'll explain that. But yeah, there's another, what do they call it? Well, his and hers sink there, toilet and bath and shower. We have 3 showers that we can use between 2 people. So these are the 2 bedrooms that are upstairs. I think I will use this as my office space. I quite like the idea of looking out of the views out here. We have an issue with this blind at the moment that needs fixed. You can only leave it open or closed currently. That doesn't make sense. I'll explain. There is no attachment on the blind currently, so Ant had to actually turn it himself to be able to open it. So it's just stuck like that now. Now here is the other bedroom, but I question whether it really qualifies as a bedroom, because in the US, you can have a room without light. Yes, they make a full room as a normal room with a door, wardrobe, as you can see, fixtures, but no actual light fixture. in the room at all. So, and it's not that, oh, you can put it in at a later stage. You physically cannot do that, and that's just by design. They choose to do this, and this is something that we had in our apartment that we're staying in, and I found it so baffling as to why. Do we know why yet, Ant?
I have no idea, and the person showing us around has no idea, but said it's common. They just don't wire the light into a room.
Very, very strange. So
you can't even say, I mean, once you're running the electrics, it doesn't save you any money not.
It's not even a spot.
Yeah, so you would have to pick up an electrical, I don't know,
Yeah. And
a loop somewhere and then cable it in, but you'd have to put a hole in the ceiling.
I know, and it just makes, well, and this is why this is not going to be my office, because I will need lamps. I'm currently using 3 lamps in our second bedroom in the apartment to counter the fact that we have, well, one, lack of daylight anyway, but also because there's no actual ceiling light. The other thing that's up here is this cupboard. So I would say this is quite common in US homes. They love their integrated cupboards, and I'd say it's fairly convenient, but very old in style. I would definitely like to make this a lot more modern, but it means we can hide things. I like that.
So that's our house top before we even move in. We don't officially move in for 3 days. What do we want to say, Sol? We want to say thank you for...
Well, the one thing I would definitely say a huge thank you for are all the comments, and also for the people that have pointed out to me that I should be asking you all to subscribe to our channel.
Yeah.
We have seen a significant difference since Anton
Yeah,
asked.
and somebody or a couple of people have actually said, I subscribed because Anton asked.
Yeah,
So.
and I do like that, but I think, I don't know, I'm not sure if it's because I wasn't convinced, I don't know why, but it's nice to know that people, and even the people that said that, I think there was a comment recently that somebody had binge watched all the videos.
Yeah,
and
joined
I really
it,
liked that.
subscribed, binge watched, really enjoyed it. We've had a couple of requests to do some, they said regular vlogs. Now I don't know if they mean regular as in more frequent or regular as in just our day-to-day lives. Either way, I think for Selena it's a lot more difficult. So it might not seem like it, but she does have a full-time, fairly intense job. And I had one before coming here. I'm on an L2 visa, so I get to relax for a couple of months before I'm allowed to work. But it does take up a lot of time. You attempt to live your normal life, plus your job, plus doing the videos, and it does wear her down a little bit. But
yeah, it does, and even when it's hard and it's tiring to do this, and you're kind of thinking, oh, am I saying the right thing, or are we trying to share, oh, have we got all the detail? I'm quite naturally a detailed person at work, and then on here you're thinking, oh, is it too much, is it too little? I mean, the one that we did at Red Rock Calico Basin, we thought it would be too long.
Too long, and actually the data and the analytics show that people watching more of it, commenting more and enjoying it more, so it's kind of given us a bit more of a direction to probably do slightly long videos with more detail.
Yeah, and also for me, it's definitely made me feel when it feels like it's too tiring or too hard, or I feel like it's not worthwhile. When I see the comments, it genuinely, you feel like you got super excited.
Oh, massively.
Yeah.
So for me, when we started this, it was actually, even though it's your channel, it was actually me who drove for it to be started, and I kind of knew that at some point, and this is a tiny channel, there's not loads of people, but to us it feels like there's lots of people. So once people started commenting and subscribing at a rate of multiple per day, it's quite rewarding. It feels like the work that we put in, we took kind of a year off, but that year before, it was hundreds or potentially thousands of hours across the year of filming and editing and messing the filming up and losing
you being annoyed at me because I didn't do something right, or spot focus, or something goes wrong.
And there were a lot of heated debates and a lot of time spent, and I kind of knew that it would pay off at the end, and it hasn't paid off yet in terms of financial, but it pays off in terms of the reward of people actually enjoying it and saying they're getting something out of it, or they've been inspired.
Or I love helping people. I think
Yeah, me too.
so the one thing I definitely get out of it is that when people are asking questions, and I want to help others, there's so many things through this process now that I keep saying, we can help somebody else not make this mistake. You don't have to go through the pain of what we've gone through.
Yeah. I think we're both helpers in different ways.
Yeah.
My delivery style is slightly different to yours, but we're both definitely, we get a lot out of helping people and knowing that somebody's got something out of something that we've suggested or helped them with. So yeah, we want to say thanks for subscribing, and continue to subscribe if you haven't already, and continue to watch to the end as well. And we know sometimes it is really long, you have to watch it in 2 parts. I do that with long videos.
That's fine. Yep.
What else we got?
Well, there is something we would like to say. We are currently thinking about rebranding, and that yeah, because when we started this channel, it was very much centered around like me and work and travel and what I was doing in business. And I've seen this with other channels where they just evolve into something else, and ours has definitely evolved into something completely different to what it was originally started.
So the name, it doesn't suit
Hills and Business does not suit
what we're yeah. And to be honest,
us,
I never wanted to be, I don't want to be in front of the camera. I don't like it now. My reward is people watching it, people enjoying it, and doing the editing.
But he takes to the camera so well.
Yeah, no, I really
He's got
don't.
so much to say.
And bearing in mind, I don't like it, and then I have to sit there for hours editing my voice.
Oh no, yeah,
It's
so
horrible.
yeah.
And you repeat the same
I hate
cycles.
listening to myself when you're editing, so I can only imagine if you have to edit your own videos.
And sometimes when you're putting things together, you listen to the same loop 10 or 15 times to make sure it gets put together properly and it's concise, especially if you've made a mistake that you can't really correct, or you roll your words into each other, which most of us do. You're trying to edit out that perfect point and then splice the other bit in, hearing yourself saying the same stupid thing over and over again.
Yeah, that can't be pleasant. But yeah, we are thinking now of changing the name of the channel to something more appropriate. We're not entirely sure what we should call it. I'll probably still keep my Instagram as Hills in Business and continue to share like my life and this stuff as well. But also when I do get back to traveling again, I will continue along that.
Yeah. So I think the point she was trying to get to is we need some help over branding. We would like some comments, some input. Yes. We aren't necessarily saying we'll pick one from that, but I think it will help us.
Just inspire us. I'm hoping we have inspired you. That's what you've said, and maybe you guys can inspire us as to the direction we should go.
And a name.
And a name, yeah.
Something short and sweet, so it's easy for me to change. So yeah, thanks for watching. We're going to put together probably a more extensive tour once we've actually moved in here. And we still have a video, which I've mentioned, I think, a couple of times, which was the house search.
Oh, yeah.
But it was quite difficult. And you'll notice that when that does come out, this house does not feature in that search.
Yeah, this was not part of the plan initially.
So I will get that out at some point. It might come out after this one.
Great. Well, thank you for watching.
Thanks. Bye.